Happy New Year. I was supposed to get a video out this morning. I was worth like most of the night on it. And I was like, I should just stream and see if I can make a video while I stream. But yeah, Happy New Year. And I'm also testing to make sure my streaming stuff worked. The last time I went live, it was like 11,000 bitrate, and Twitch was like mad. But it looks like it's holding out like it should be at the 6K bitrate. Which is what I was telling it to do before, and even said in the settings. So I had to like disable it. It's like auto find the right one. And I was like, I'll set the max. But anyway, I'm working on Dialogic, and I've got ideas, I've got things, and I've been working on a hook. It's just like kind of hard to tell when I say that. But I don't know. I figure we can hang out while I work on this. Keeps me accountable. 2, I get to stream more. I think streaming more is important, but I don't want to miss out on the content. So just stream and work on stuff. Which means I'll probably whoa. There we go. What about this one? Oh, we did? Yeah. So there'll be a time I'll have to move to this view to like record and whatnot while I do things. So anyway, I think we'll just do this, and I'll and if I can get good at it, yeah, we'll just record and hang out and chat all day. If this works out, then I'll just like stream every day that I'm working on videos, which isn't bad. And see how it works. And then I try adding the Twitch chat thing back up onto the screen here. Okay, so what I'm working on here is the hook part for Dialogic. I've got a pretty good point here for like complexity, because I'm thinking because Dialogic is huge, and I was gonna do like the whole thing, and I'm like, that's too big. So I'm just gonna do like timelines, like complex timelines, and show how you can do some complex stuff where you've got like this character comes and talks, and then you can see that you talk to him again and you get a different message. Then you can talk to these guys, and there's like, and then they like, then if you can talk to them again, you have to like suggest who should do it. It says, hey, how about the Green Knight? No way, we're not gonna allow him. And then it'll be like, I'll be right back. And then you can come over here. Great to see you again. Hey, so I overheard them. Yeah, it's the Red Knight's turn. Like, I think that's a really good like thing to show how to do this. But I also want to make sure it's like interesting enough. And then you say, hey, it's Red Knight's turn. You got me. Thanks. And then if you talk to them again, they just say thank you. So like how to create progression. That's really it. And actually isn't a whole lot of code either. Like well, this is Dialogic, so if I close everything. looks like a lot, but it's not. Like, see, even the blue lights just run to start the convo. Oh, I clear for. Oh, I'm ready. I clear progression. Which I guess we don't really need because it happens anyway. Player has like his movement stuff, and that's really the most complicated part. And this like interaction thing, which isn't even dialogic, so it really isn't even part of the tutorial. Anything else I did in here? I mean, there's a utility class, so I did this bit mask code. So you could do bit masking, which is like the key to everything. So I want to explain bit masking, but that might just become a short instead. But, yeah. So we got to make an interesting intro, and that's like one of the harder things. Like, I'm okay from a technical perspective, and I'm trying to get better at my video style. But, So I like hooks. It's like catchy, and I went and reviewed my old video, which it's insane that it has like 40K views over it. That was like last May, so 40K over like 30 months. And I talk so much, and I don't show. So my big thing for this video, and newer video, if you see some of my shorts, is less talky, more showy, right? Like, yeah, like we shouldn't talk as much. It might be hard for a streamer and like yapping all the time, but that's what this is for. This is the behind the scenes stuff. You know, I figure if I just keep creating content and stuff, and maybe, and so I'm definitely thinking for like all my streams, and like all things, I'll just like stream from like 9 AM to probably 3 PM my time. Today I'm gonna do it till like 4. And I'll try to make videos and stuff, and we'll edit it in. It'll just be a you know, we'll just do many days of it, and that's fine. Stay on target. I did want to change something. Since I'm here anyway, we can fix it. This is a good song. Where is it? Labeling, speakers. There it is. Cool. Awesome. I got my music set up through the right output. Okay. So if we're gonna focus on, I've got my little thumbnail here, which I was working on. We're gonna go with like, it's gonna be complex. And I don't know, I think it's worth like watching somebody that is learning, because I'm no great expert when it comes to these things. But yeah, I think we can do this. We'll go with complex timelines. Maybe like build, create. Complex timelines. Maybe something like that. What's that mad about? That's how you spell complex. Isn't that what I wrote? That seems weird. I don't know. How's that look? So we're like, we got a bunch of things out there. That red is now done live. This thing. Create complex stuff. I think it's very clickable. Export. We're not doing a deep dive. We're just focusing on timelines. And I need something a little more upbeat. I mean, it's upbeat, but it's like, yes. Alright. So we got this puppy and I'm not using knee spray, so sure. Yes. Yeah. Alright. So, we've got our little project here. Our dude. He's now gaming. I am a little annoyed when I'm thinking about this, where like character seems to only be valuable for like visual novels. and I totally what's the word? Bypassed it in like the last video. And I'm like, we can do better. You know? Absolutely. You know what we could do? So I like to jump around and look for inspiration. One of my favorite, like one of the reasons I even got into this, other than being like, I see these tutorials. I bet I can make good tutorials. I'm working on it. Some of you like them. I sometimes like my own videos. But the guy got me into it. Is this guy? We all know him. I guess even though he made a video, oh, it was a month ago. 7 months ago. That's crazy. Man, he's aged. Look at that. So, we'll pause the music for a moment. Right. Mic out. Look at that. So the hook is that first. So the only thing you notice is he does the same thing. But like, right? Hooks are very important. I like that shirt. So these are like talking heads, and that's great. But I don't think it works for me. I talk a lot, even as is now. And so there's other people that I like to as well. I really hope this doesn't screw up my copyright junk. So he I like 8-Bit Ryan. He does amazing edits. Huge fan of him. But he'll take like a snippet from the video and put it at the front. He'll then like massively edit on top. And that's a good way to do a hook too. My dog is being loud. Yeah, you wouldn't have like dogs that are just like loud. You can see him. Kind of. Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Yes. Go lay down. Okay. I gotta make the video, man. I have got to make the video. I know you want to play, but I cannot. Nope. He's like staring into my soul, like, play with me. Dude, we gotta work. Come on. Later. His bed's over there, so it's. No. Unfortunately, I have to ignore him for him to realize that it's not playtime. As soon as I give him any focus, he's like, it's all on me. So I like Ryan. I like. I don't think the ignoring is working. he'll do this thing where he'll go over to the couch I've got and he'll sit there instead of in his bed. Anyway, I'm a huge fan of but like he has really good hooks, and it's all about the hook. That's some other good ones. I just know there's a lot of good ones out there. Obviously, Simple does a good job. I mean, there's like so many good creators. So find what inspires you. This is like the big thing. And then my issue is I get in my head a lot, and then before I progress. So I've upgraded my demo, which maybe is further than I should have been, but I don't know. Maybe it's like, do we do something with the guys? Do we be like, hey, Dialogic is daunting. Like, it's huge. Maybe that's about it. Like, Dialogic is huge. It's daunting. It can feel very, very complex. And sometimes you just want to have a conversation between a couple of nights, and you don't know how to do it. And maybe that's like a perfect hook. You're like, hey, I just want to set up a scene. I just want to set this up. I don't want to be not worrying about how to create conversations. I want to create really cool mechanics. That's what it should be. Maybe. Okay. Now we're cooking with fire. I think that's right. We could be like, working on your game is supposed to be fun. We should be able to focus on the mechanics and not get caught up on. He was like all up in my business. He's like, "What are you doing?" Yeah, we could do that. Things down just a little bit, so you can maybe hear me over the music. I think it's just a little loud. Okay. You know what? Okay. So I've had this idea where making my videos is like, whether you're making a game, whether you're making a video, whether you're working on art, whether like whatever you're doing, it's never fun to look at a blank canvas. And like, sometimes these videos feel like a blank canvas and you have no idea where you're going. But I like the idea of saying, like, oftentimes when you're working on a game, don't talkie. It's so loud. It's like words. And we'll see if I like this format. But I kind of like the idea of working on my video and streaming. I think there's something there. Like, work on it. Like, you have your vision, and you don't want to get things in the way of it. Sure, it's all good. Yeah. So okay. What catchy. It's when you are working on your game, it's easy to get tripped up. I don't like it. I need. Man, it'd be if I was as good as some of those YouTubers out there that can like cut their streams and be like, that's a video. But my perfectionist is showing. I also get distracted easily, I think. Okay. I want something with. I could easily work on my short, but like that's the one that I'm like most okay with as well. So we're gonna do a bit mask. Oh man. Like I feel like it's the tip of my tongue, right? Where I'm like, and this is the first time I'm just like broadcasting my process, making a video, working on a project. I think it's worth doing that more often. Things don't come out of thin air, and it means I stream way more. There's more content. And that's this whole year is about content, not being scared to show things in an incomplete status like this. I would have never done this before. I'd be like, no, it's not done. You can't see it. And then on Wednesdays, I can game, which is my plan. Same for Saturday, Sundays. This was my gaming days. Like, days off, as it were. If I stream to game. And I'll probably just do only that on Twitch, maybe. Keep YouTube focused on game dev. I want it to be okay, so we'll just keep that there. I talked about the stuff I skipped when I reviewed the other video. I did it when it was Alpha 13. Now it's freaking 16. Snappy, funny, interesting. Let's see if I'm any of those. When you're working on a game, it's easy to get tripped up. This markdown doesn't work. No. Main goal when making a game, your goal is to get it done. Is to learn a lot and get it done. While you could roll your own dialogue system. Okay, there's a piece missing right before this. I can tell. One very common mechanic is the dialogue system. One very common mechanic that can take a while to build is the dialogue system. But you could roll your own dialogue system. It might be more beneficial to just use a pre-built one, like Dialogic. Does this sound dry to anyone else? Does it sound boring? Or is it just me? I kind of look at that. Look at how much wordings that is. Look how much wordings. How many words there are for that? A hook is like 5 seconds, like max. Let's come up with our timeline. Right, we have our hook. Outro, any call to actions that we want to throw out there. And then, of course, is the primary content. I like this updates one. Just like what has changed since my last video. And you generally need a an outcome, right? Because you see, sometimes I'll get in this habit. It's actually a really bad habit. I'll be like so pressured about the time that I'll just throw a recording together, and I realize I've missed some of these, and it kind of messes with like the quality of the video, which isn't awesome. Which is like, what do viewers get out of this? Like, what do you learn at the end? Like, what's the point? And the idea is you just fill in this content meter until it's here. In my case, I looked at it like, okay, there's so much. There's the timelines, the characters, and the various portrait styles. There's the glossary, which I never touched on. There's a little bit of styling. Going to these custom ones where you've got this one that's got on the opposite side, which is what I'm showing. You've got the variables. You've got settings. There's new things where you can do save and history. It's cool. But it's like way too much for a video. Like, I'm actually surprised that my other video did as good as it did, because I really just like, I just really showed people how to start. And now I want to do more. Change style. Is there like a, does it change background? But there's not a change portrait? It's wild. Oh, and like something else, you can create extensions and like create new sections, create new like objects in here. If you wanted to create your own, you can do that. But that's like, that deserves its own video as well. It's interesting, this is like pink to dark purple, green. This is a green and a blue. The colors aren't even in like, do they supposed to mean something? I don't know. And the thing I'm going to show off isn't even a thing on Dialogic. I created a bit mask for like flagging states because I feel like that's missing. It doesn't have a bit mask default, but you can build it yourself. And I'm showing how you can call your code from timelines, which is also a complex thing. I don't think I'm using anything traditional in this example, which is fine. But I did write down all the questions I've ever gotten, and I wanted to try to address them. Sometimes it's just like things have already been answered or solved. Like, because it was like user error or something. And by standard export, that works. I don't even really go over exporting. It should just work. Okay. I need to get better about just saying what's in my head because I'm thinking a lot, and I think it doesn't help you guys. I'm just watching, staring at this. So, okay, let's go back to. We've got here. We've got this scene. We've got a conversation happening. What do we at least want? We can talk about updates. We've got the this save, clear, history thing. I haven't built yet. Maybe we build a little menu thing for that. That'd be fine. Let's build it. If there is something within timelines that I'm missing because I assume it's too easy, or it's like everybody knows that, let me know. We can figure it out. Saving and loading. So, example signal handling. On save game button pressed. Dialogic.save. On load. Dialogic.load. All of these methods will take screenshot too, which may affect performance. So it saves a thumbnail by default. If you'd like to use the thumbnails per save game, it's recommended to take the screenshot before opening. Dialogic save. Okay. So I've got 2 progression paths in my my little demo project. For instance, you can ignore the Green Knight's recommendation. He's like, hey, whose turn is it? And you're like, I'll be right back. You don't have to, you can say make a decision now. He says, hey, it's the Red Knight's turn. But if you instead say it's the Blue Knight, you can make him sad. And now when you go back, you can't switch it. So technically this is a time frame. Like, now you're back. Now it'd be cool to go back and load it before then. I'm curious. So we'll create a new control. Then wraps them around the borders. I don't think I've ever used a vFlow container. I've only used a VBox container. And then texture correct can be the thumbnail, label, save, game slot. Oh, it's a I actually wanted an HBox container. And then like a button. It's like load. Maybe a panel, put it in so that it's nice and dark. We can have this be full width. And then layout, expand. Okay. No, 12. 01.03.327. Just like below 30. And we should probably have a placeholder. You know what we'll do? We'll put we'll throw this guy in there. I don't like that size. That's 48 by 40, 28 by 28. Really? I guess you can't force it to be a... Huh. Maybe it's keep and spend. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's see. How's Twitch been? Nice. Yeah, no issues. Sick. Awesome. Yeah, I don't know what's going on that day. It was crazy. Yeah. Now this can all represent a save. Button. And then I think I do a VBox container with an HBox in there. And then I say this branch is a scene and call it a save file. And that way, every time I add one, it'll just add it to this list. And then I probably want a scroll container. That way. You can scroll it. Probably want the panel. Doesn't the panel have the same things? Yeah, like that. There's no, well, layout. Yeah. There we go. Good. And then I want to do the same with this layout, anchors. There we go. Now, as I increase this, that increases. Okay. That's not a Dialogic thing, it's a UI thing. But it's cool. And that helps to do a UI thing at some point too. Okay, and then we'll go with like save game screen. Save load game screen. And then we'll go to player. It's probably like a whole lot of work added to something that's might not come back. Well, if I reuse, I'll probably like reuse it. I'll use this for all Dialogic things. I'll just keep coming back and I'll add it and we'll update things. I think that might be like the best way to do it. I don't want to like rebuild it if I don't have to. Let's do event and we'll say if event is action released, I like released, is like save load, which doesn't exist yet. We will then, we should put this on the player. That way it's visible wherever the player is. And then we need to save. Please. We open up save file. Thumbnail. file name, load button. Okay. Save load record. We could just call it save file like the freaking name of the other thing that we already have. That might be a smart idea. Save file. Bam, bam, bam. I wonder if it's worth. If you're like. Save. Okay. Save slot variable slot name variable. Okay. On save game button press state save. On game download load. Okay, so awesome. It also uses it. Feel like we're I want to do that. Here, let me add in here. We'll do tab. We'll do tab. And then at onReady for say load screen equals not onReady save game save load screen dot visible equals false. Equals true. And I feel like there should be some logic on to save a game load screen. Hey Loki, how's it going? Hope you're having an awesome day. Working on a video. I'm trying this idea of making a video while I'm streaming. One, to show off what I'm doing behind the scenes. Two, to keep me honest and actually build it. I was actually due like this morning, but yeah, nice. I'll show you where so building a Dialogic video, like the part 2 of my Dialogic stuff. I think I'm just going to focus on just the timelines. And so basically you've got this scene, you come down here, you can talk to a guy, walk away. If you come back, the dialogue has changed. If you come over here, he's like, hey, it's your turn to guard them. No, I did it last night. And you're like, what? You can go back and ask them again. Now it's like, hey, well, who should do it? And you're like, hey, the Green Knight. You're like, nah, it's not Vaughn, he guards the well. And you'll be like, I'll be right back. Come over here. Great to see you. Hey, I overheard them. Yeah, it's Red Knight's turn. Over here. Say Red Knight. You got me. Take the knight off, Blue. Thanks. And now every time you talk to them, they're like, thank you. And it actually isn't that much code, which is cool. It's like, this is the timeline for the blue and red, and this is the green, and the Red Knight code. I think it's Green Knight, Blue Knight. The player is pretty much all the moving stuff in like the interaction, and we're just working on like the save stuff. It's pretty sure this is Red Knight. All that can go away too. And then I've got a bit mask that I created for like flagging, which is where all the cool stuff. Like this is the big thing that I'm showing off, so I can do like complex timelines. And so I think if I show off that plus like a save and load style, that might be good enough for the video. Because then I'd rather do styles as its own dedicated video and signals as its own dedicated video. I think that might help break it up. At least that's the plan anyway. I just gotta get it done. I figured, why not stream it? And we'll see what I can do. I need to get some footage together for what I've done this week for a video. Nice! Yeah, my issue is I get very perfectionist, and this is my way of being like, keep it dirty, be open. I was watching some videos too, where like, another guy that got me into this, or like had me do more, was this guy. I don't know if you guys know him, Harris Haller. He also like plays a lot of the music that I play in the background. So he says something. Yeah. Let's see. Right here. So this is the thing I was doing for a long time. was I'd be like, I'm saying nothing, and I'll be working on it, and then I'd get distracted, and I wouldn't be working on it, and I'd be going back and forth, back and forth. I agree, and I don't agree at the same time with this statement. One, it doesn't create accountability for you. Like, announcing it means you have to do it. Now, I would have loved to have done it sooner, but I've been like doing a bunch of stuff, and a lot of things have happened per my New Year's video that I explained, and that's fine. And people aren't actually like, "Hey, did you upload your video?" Like, they don't care. You care more than they care. um, so to me, I think it's okay to announce, but you need to set like accountability and like show it. I think you need to show a ton of things and talk less. Like, I think it's the telling part that needs to be redacted. I think it's like, until done, show everything you're doing. Like, don't hide anything. That, I mean, there's probably things you'll want to hide. Like, if I'm watching a course on like how to do something, I can't stream that. Because of like copyright and stuff. But maybe I'll have a different where it's on a different monitor and I'm watching it and like, hey, it's pretty much a co-working stream, and I'll have like a thing. And that's fine too. Like, I'm like, I'm working on Blender or I'm working on learning something new. So um yeah. I did one for my 1 year in game dev, just going all over the product, the ups and downs. Yeah. Yeah, that was my New Year's one, kinda. Um I want to do a better reels one. I watched Mort recently, like this morning, and he did this really cool reel of his like work for the whole year, and I'm like, I want to be like, I streamed this many times, I made this many videos, I created these many projects. Because I could have done more. I looked at it and I was actually disappointed at the number of videos I created this year. Not this year. Last year it was like 5, I think. And I took big stretches of time off. Granted, I moved. There's a whole lot of like drama. Last year was the best and worst year. This year, I'm like, I'm gonna be making tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of videos and content. Yeah, so I think it's worth telling people, but it's about also keeping your goals, keeping things realistic for what you can hit, and doing progressive improvements. And it's not about whether you fail or not. It's about like just keeping at it, which is why I'm keeping at it. Technically, my video was due this morning and I missed it. But it's been something I'm like, this is a complicated thing. This isn't like create a Pong game that talks about the bounce function. This is complex, and my perfectionism is like, I want to make this good for everybody that watches it. Now, it's possible that everything I just showed is actually more than enough, but you know, might not be. But I think like the save and load is an interesting thing that it keeps, and I'd be curious. I think it saves the timeline and maybe the variables. That's the question I have: is how much of it is a saving? And so this is focusing on a timeline. I want to be able to be confident about everything I say here to equip everyone with the tools they need. And then we can worry about the other stuff later. I want to have some kind of reference to timeline too. Actually, and also explain how this timeline works. Right? Like, it isn't, I don't think it's stated. Oh, and I guess, well, I'll get back to that in a second. Timelines. Started with the editor. Okay, create the timeline. Add the timeline button. It creates this file. Once you hit save, you can add events. You can learn more about that in each event thing. You can test the timeline by clicking the play at the bottom. That button at the top. You know, I don't think I've ever done that. But no to... Oh yeah, go back to it. But it only plays up to here. Nothing has changed. And so you can start it and see if that works. So, all right. So we got the player. We're gonna have this the save game thing, right? Let's add. Oh, what was the other thing I was gonna say? The other thing I didn't talk about last time also was that you can write the timeline in like code. You can go look at the text editor, and here's that whole thing I just did, but in like this code version. So I want to explain that too. Back to the visual editor. I think that'd be good. So also, I've got explain the timeline. Which is pretty much just runs the timeline to completion every single time. It doesn't pause, it doesn't stop. That's something that's like never stated. Show off bit masking. And yeah, this is not really Dialogic, but it's getting more, creating gates for timelines. And then save load. And I just thought of it like, if we pick the wrong person, we should be going, you got me, if it's blue. Right. We can also like duplicate this. And then we can also say, we're gonna set bitmask 2. And if we do that, so you can go into not play timeline. Stop. If we go to the text editor here, I can copy that guy, go back to the visual editor, go to the Green Knight. And go to condition, put it here. And I can say, if this is set, we can be like, you know, it's a shame Red got away with lying. And that should technically work. Right, so you come over here, say hello adventurer. Comes back, great to see you again. And if you talk about it, he just says, great to see you again. Come over here. Hey, it's your turn. No, I didn't. And then, who should be? Like, I'll be right back. And he goes, good to see you again. Hey, so yeah, it's Red's turn. And then you say blue. And then if we come over here, great to see you again. You know, it's a shame Red got away with lying. So, this way, you know, the tone of like, yeah, thanks, changes based on whether or not he's taking the night off or he's taking it up. It's the same word, it's the same statement, but I think it's funny where it's like, if you get him to take the night off, it's like, yeah, thanks. But if he's like not, and he ends up having to guard, it's, yeah, thanks. It's the same statement, but it has different tones, and I love that the same statement works. So let's go back to the visual editor. Else, thanks for your help. I think I want to move this up here. Oh, I guess it's like if else. Right? Because yeah, if, and I'm like, we should test the other one, right? We go, we don't even have to talk to him technically. We can go here, and if you're like, hey, Red Knight, and you come over here, and he's like, hello, great to see you again. Thanks for the help. Boom. Yeah, thanks. Love that. Ta-da. I liked how that worked. Styles. Global color, character color. That should work. Now. Because now we can go back. Now the idea is we'll go back in time and we'll select the right one. Have Red get away with lying. Then it creates a little narrative fun. Save load. Load before the choice. He takes that off. Real for real, or something like that. Off. I'll be right back. Looks like my dog needs to go outside. Be right back. having myself some coffee too. That could be fun, right? We explain the timelines. We kind of like explain how we can be complex with it, but not require a lot of work. We then show off like a timeline where you're like, oh man, I messed that up. Then you can load back the time. Be like before. And then you go back and pick blue. It's going to have the night off. So you pick red to guard. Could make it too. Right, where you move them. It's fine. We don't want to have to be too complex. It's complex enough for the timeline, and you can then we'll do like maybe we'll do that as like upgrading it with signals or something. Although saving and all that is also signals. Where's the save stuff I was just looking at? Saving, loading. Save. Take a thumbnail. Yeah, it's kind of. Okay. By default, save games contains information about the timeline and the variables. If you want to say specific, we can achieve it by using this. I put a dictionary of things in there to save. Information not wouldn't die. State info will also provide. Dialogic.settings subsystem. Dialogic.settings.text speed. Save the data automatically stored in the global save file. If you want to write global file, save file directly, you can use. It seems a lot more complicated than I want to deal with. History is... well, it's history. Complicated. You know what I might do? I might go back. Player. Don't care about the tree. Close these. Okay. We've got this save gate screen with the panel and all that. I think I'm gonna go to the save thing and I'm gonna take this. And I'm gonna say load. And I'm gonna say like name. And then I'm going back to player. And then I'm gonna create a button. I'm gonna call it save game. And I'm just gonna put it here. And I'm gonna make it easy. And then going to have a button down, button up on player. We should do this. If it has slots, we should load them. Slot name. I feel like there's more info here about what needs to get done than what is said, because it's like Dialogic dot get save dot get slot. If not has slot, return an empty string. Which is interesting if it's empty string. Also, is it weird that they use a double quote and then a single quote here? For consistency, shouldn't it be like that? Also, what's this function doing? Return slot name in this. So it returns the slot name. So render true or false. If has meta. But this doesn't set the slot. Slot name equals get default slot. Slot get default slot. Return slot name in. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Does that mean that the slot I'm referencing might not even come back true, even if it is true? Wait, what's get default slot? Just the default slot. Wait a minute. Has anyone used this function? Get the latest slot. Latest slot. Wait. Get the meta. If it has meta, get the meta. Otherwise, get the global info and set the meta. Wait a minute. How changes the name so variant. Engine. Wait a minute. I just feel like this has no value. Is like has slot. If slot name is empty, slot name equals get default slot. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Only if it's empty. Get the default one. Okay. And then return slot name in there. Which is supposed to say, hey, if there's something here, do it. Slot name is a string. Return default. Look at that, even here you set it. Set it to this, or set it to empty string. I want to know what value that has. I don't think that has any value. Because you're saying return empty string? If you removed this, this also returns empty string. You're not setting. You're just saying get the latest slot. No, and this is a side effect code. I feel like you shouldn't be doing this. You're just saying give me the latest one. And if this is also setting the default slot, slot name equals this. Now, if it's doing proper stack management, as soon as the method leaves this, like as soon as the function closes and we're returned back up to here, this is not modified. Because I think Godot passes by value, I think. Why do you want to do that? Yeah, only there's a reference. Everything else is passed by value. Yeah. Which is what I thought. Everything is passed by value. Which means that when it goes into this has slot, this latest slot, this variable is a copy of the variable before it. So you can modify the crap out of this all you want, and as long as it's not an array or a dictionary, which is the only thing that is passed by reference, it will then be, you can modify it all you want, and it doesn't matter. Because once you're done and come back, that function, it's gone, and this is that variable. You can't modify it. Like, you can't modify this version of latest slot in here, because it's not an array or dictionary. Which again tells me that this has no value. To me, anyway. Like, I don't think having a slot, it's the latest save slot and has a slot. I think this is to try to say, like, there is one available. Like, you have nothing, and so it's that first one. But this is a weird way to do it, I feel. Like, the same one to get the latest should also check that it's the default. I don't know. I went down a rabbit hole. I just think that this is an extra process that we don't need to, shouldn't be doing. I should contribute to Dialogic, honestly. Discard my changes. Because look, here you do the same function. Get latest slot is doing has slot. So I don't even actually need to do that. Var slot equals get the latest slot. Slot equals empty string. We do not have any save data. We should get all of the slots, right? Dialogic dot save dot get slot names. What does that do? An array of strings. We'll just go var slots equals this. I need that. And then I can just go for slot in slots. Our save file equals reload save file. And then we'll go var save file inst equals save file dot instantiate. Let's debug this guy. So, what did I say it was? Tab. So we'll go through here, we'll go step over. Slots should be empty. That will skip right over, and then we'll have this screen show up. And if I click that, it'll save. Okay, so now delete that guy. In fact, I'll be like, here, inspector. Again, this is probably way like overkill of what I need to be doing, but I think that's kind of my shtick at this point. Display text, no. Layout. Anchors. Extend. Centered. No save files exist. Not save. And then center. No exist. And then go back to script. Go up to here. And on ready var no save label equals no exist. It's false. If slots dot 0 goes true. Da 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 da. And then save game. No, we already have it. On button up. Here, we'll do that. Slot name variable. Okay, so it's like slot name variable. But they don't explain the slot name variable, do they? Saving system allows you to save and load the timeline states game mode. Be aware that save game uses their name as a folder name. Restrict the allowed characters for folder names. Remember that rely on Latin alphabet names, of course. Okay. This is my thing to tell anyone making documentation. Do not create a variable that you are referencing in your code, in your tutorial, and not give it a declaration. Because if I copy this text and I paste it in my code and I'm learning how to use your framework or your plugin or like whatever, if you do not tell me what this means, because up here you're like, hey, yo, the folder name, where's it at? If you don't care about same, okay. Be aware that save game uses their name as a folder name. Operating systems restrict allowed characters for folder names. It's recommended to use this. Okay, so you're like, okay, so it uses my character name when I save. So I'm saving the timeline. How does it know which timelines to save? Okay. It says, hey, it's going to use this. If you don't care about save game slots, you can do this. However, these ones will take a screenshot too. Which is also kind of weird. If you're going to take a screenshot, I feel like you should opt in always. Like, it can affect performance because I'm taking a screenshot every time you click save. Like, it's a nice to have, but I don't think it's a requirement that you should be doing. So I'm kind of against the idea of like auto screenshotting. You can prevent it. And see here, it's like empty. Does that mean I can just do this? Save slot name variable. Like, what does that mean? Slot name string. I think it's just the name of the slot, right? So like, if I were to call this bam. If I were to call this like what? Knight's Guard? I don't know. You probably also want time. Slot extra info. Okay, that's ×2 now. Well, what's here? What is it? Slot info. Okay. And is default as an empty dictionary. If it exists, set that info. Set slot info. Info is a dictionary. Why did I have to go all the way here to find out? Get default slot. If you don't, it just gets it. Okay. That's something else I should have known. Okay. So if I set it, it'll override it every single time. But if I do this, in fact, if I just do this, and if I do this, it's fine. Cool as string. So I have to do this. Okay, and then that'll like close out the save screen. Okay, let's try this. If I go like this, and then go tab, and I do this the first time, it comes back with an empty slots. Awesome. That's cool. We need to increase the layer position. Click save game. Click tab again. Now, slots has a default slot in there. So now you have to get that slot information. Slot info. Okay, I'm gonna do this again. Now it's there still, which is good because it saved it. A lot of folders. Probably saving it in the user profile, isn't it? Where do you put it? I forget. Yep. Okay. So goes to your Godot. Goes to app data roaming Godot. This is a good thing to know. Thumbnail. State.text. I like to look at it. Oh, it's in binary data. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. All right. Boom. Slot info. Give me what kind of info you got. It's empty. What do you mean it's empty? You just saved the data there. What are you talking about? Dialogic.save.get default slot. Default info. It's just default. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Dialogic.load. Or is it all just save? Okay. Get slot thumbnail, I guess. Go back to save file here. We're gonna create a little script here and add onReady var thumbnail equals thumbnail already var file name equals file name. That's all we need. And then function set thumbnail. It's a texture rect. Label thumbnail dot texture equals thumbnail image. Maybe that'll work. Function set label text file name dot text equals text. Okay. Theoretically, I can now say this dot this equals thumbnail. Thumbnail? How about thumbnail? And that's like set text or set label, I think. And then it's night discussion. I don't know. We'll delete it and try again. And then we need a reference to the VBox container. OnReady var save list equals VBox container. And then we'll just go save list dot add child save file inst, which we have to do ahead of time because onReady is not called until add child happens, which means these nodes don't exist until add child is done. Boom, boom, boom. Did it do it? I don't know. Get slop thumbnail. Image textures returned. Okay. Boom. Boom. Okay. Save file. Inspector. Layout. Is that like a max size? Right. Like if I go like that, I just save it. Then we go to like test. Okay. Keep aspect. I think that's what you need. Try it. Tab. Boom. Yeah, there we go. It's like there. Just all over. What's up with my mouse doing this like side thing? Okay. And so then load would load an option, I guess. Which we haven't done yet. And I guess we could be like export our save slot and be as cool as them and be like, hey, I'm gonna use that. Makes it 10. What are you talking about? Okay. Acting weird. Alright, and then we'll go with load. Save slot. Bam. Okay. Think. No, I did not. Go to player. Undo that. And then save file inst dot save slot equals slot. Okay. And that should then set it up. And I really don't care about any of that. Okay. Now, theoretically, if I go into did I already close it? It's not my intention. Okay, well here's default. And so I'm just gonna delete that. Okay. And now I'm gonna go through here. And we're gonna say like, hey, hello adventure. Okay. And then we come over here and they're like, look, it's your turn to guard them, not even like that. And you're like, okay. Yeah, it's good to see you again. Hey, it's the Red Knight's turn. Thanks for the help. And you're like, hey, I'm gonna be cheeky, but before I do, I'm gonna save my game. And I'm gonna come in here and say, hey, Red Knight should do it. Oh shoot. That's not what I meant. Oh, if I hit tab, it just... Okay, well that's not right. Load. Uh-oh. If just joined. Change speaker is called. Okay, save does not work as well as I thought it did. Because they have an assumption here that you're always going to use join. Change speakers called just before the text is changed. It's supposed to not do anything if it's like... How does that? Oh, because you just defaulted to true. Who's gonna know? Change speaker. Just joined is true. That's not always true. Okay. Their save code is buggy. I can't in good conscience show it. It's dependent on the just join stuff. The just join only works for like visual novels, but like when I try it, it's like, hey, I failed. I'm sorry, Dialogic. You guys gotta improve it a little bit, and maybe I'll commit to it. But it's just like, guys, this is an assumption. You can't assume that it's true because I don't do it. Because it gets mad at me if I do it and it's not a visual novel. You can have a character who has not joined. Okay. 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 I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I hope you are. Alright. Dialogic. You see, anything that's like, it just works. You see, this is the stuff that always gets me concerned because it's like, they don't tell you about, like, you can throw a slot in there. They don't tell you, I bet nothing in here says, oh, by the way, you need to make sure in your timeline that your character has joined in the timeline. Out of curiosity. I just throw in here because it gets mad when I'm like, hey, Green Knight joined from the left. Blue and this one. Blue Knight is joined from the right. Red Knight joins from the left. Now, let me stop. And then I'm going to delete the save, which data. No, they don't even tell you where it saves. Okay, that's another thing they should do. Run it. them over here, and I'll be like, yo, sup? Okay. See here? I could not find the position container, which is annoying because the character is using this right profile. I created a style. The right profile literally has it here. In fact, this custom style, which is their default one with where I just flipped the profile location to show that you could do it, and because I needed a nearest, because it's a pixel art, the literal portrait container, I said, hey, this guy, mode position, has got a position. Portrait placement, where's that? Mode speaker? No description available for what mode means. I don't know what that means. Portrait panel. Where did I see it? Portrait position, right. See, I put him on the right because it was left originally. And so it's like, okay, there is literally a portrait position. Also, no description available. So, how can it say that it can't find it if it doesn't exist? If it exists here. And this is like, could not find position container. I don't know. You tell me, man. Like, that's what that's supposed to be. Here's the portrait container. Is it supposed to be position? Out of curiosity. Right and left. Nope. 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 I'm gonna just drop the save part of this because, well, that was very valuable. Fact here, let me exit, and I'm going to create a copy of this whole project. And then I'm gonna like report it and be like, I don't know what's up with your joins. Bad save, bad join. Okay. Dialogic part 2. Let's go delete some code. I don't know. It bugs me. So, in the end, if you can't trust a system, roll your own. Like, not all plugins have the answer to everything. Just annoyed. Okay, so I did all this work on the player. We're just gonna delete that. And project settings. We will delete that. And here. Reminder. Submit bug or join issue on portraits. Submit bug. For load issue due to bad join on portraits. Makes saving not viable. Ugh. That's so annoying. So we can just close this. I guess we're back to this, right? So we're gonna just Blue takes the night off. All right. Red takes the night off. Update, save, clear history. Be like issues with save. Be careful with it. I don't know if I want to say that in the video though, because on a long enough time frame, what I say will be wrong. Like they could fix it in the next patch, and then my video is wrong. And I mean, I could always trim it out and be like, I will trim this video out, this part out, when save mode is fixed. I don't know. I don't know if it's better or not to do that. My dog wants out again. I swear, he does that because he didn't actually do anything last time I let him out either. He does this thing where he's like, okay, I'm bored. You're not playing with me. You should, like, let me out. No. You get into things. Now we get into it. Alright. We can talk about this. We can talk about the outcome. Let's make that scene. Outcome. If you guys like me showing you how I go through and build a video and why it takes me 10 times longer than maybe other people, awesome. Put a like on the video or the VOD, or, you know, follow, subscribe, all those kinds of things. But, like, let me know. Do you like this, where I talk about my process and watch me go in circles? This is what I do when I'm not streaming, and I figured I'll just stream it, and you guys can check it out and decide if you like it or not. But yeah, let me know if you like it or not, and then I can keep doing it, because I'm fine doing this, like, every day. And we can build cool stuff together. Okay. We will check out what's new. Go over a timeline. Explain how it works. Create a dynamic timeline. Create dynamic timelines that allow us to have progression. I think that's good, right? That's it. Using a bit mask. Make a blue night happy. Yeah, I like it. So let's check out what's new. Go over the timeline, explain how it works. Okay. So I think So I bet I can, let me pause the music. This is where the test comes in. This is where I see if it works. The way I do it is I record this, and then I'll be grabbing other screens, and I'll be doing different B-roll things. And I'll be playing those, and that'll probably have to do off stream. Like, well, some of that stuff I'll have to do off stream. Like, I mean, we could try it, but we'll see. Do you guys hear how loud he is? He eats so loud. Okay. Let's take a look here. All right. All right, I'm starting a recording. Let's see how this works. All right. Well, since last time I updated the Dialogic, this other thing I do, like a little scripty thing. I put bullet points, but then I don't have a script, so sometimes it doesn't sound awesome. Today we're going to check out what has changed since my last video, which was Alpha 13, to now we're in Alpha 16. I'm going to be going over the timeline and explain exactly how it works so you can build your dialogue experiences with confidence. We're going to create some dynamic timelines that allow us to have some actual progression feelings using a... We're going to create a dynamic timeline. We'll create some dynamic timelines that allow us to have this sense of progression using the concept of a bit mask. And finally, we're going to be making this blue knight very happy by allowing him to take the knight off. Stop the recording. Let's see how that worked. All right, I'm starting a recording. Let's see how this works. Okay. What has changed online by allowing him to take the knight off? Cool. It worked. I mean, I didn't expect it not to, but sometimes I have weird stuff with like streaming and then like recording, and then OBS gets really mad at me, and it didn't pick up anything else on the background. Okay. So we've got our base figured out. Ooh. Do this, and remix, boom, done. Outcome. Oh, nope. Right. I just watched it. We're good. All right. So now we've got this. We'll just need to do like B-roll. Off the things, which we'll get by doing the other scenes. Alright, so what has changed? Go with that next. Figure out my hook at some point. I think here. Oop. Hook. Change the life of our blue knight. I think that should be that should play a thing. We'll make him really, really sad. And then we'll make him happy, because we're gonna... Okay. Oh, that's to do. Cool. Good job. All right, updates. What has changed? Wait, not Godot engine. What am I doing? Dialogic. I was like, what? That looks higher. Okay, so Alpha 16. Fixing those missing animations plus nice new stuff. Except for the stuff that doesn't work. Sidebar now supports a couple new modes for grouping your recent resources that can now be collapsed in case you'd rather just use the file system. Internal structure styles has been reworked. Fixing the behavior of inherited styles. And hopefully getting rid of a bunch of bugs with duplicate UIDs. Finally change the typing sound audio bus in settings. Okay. This version includes some code that will do an internal update to any style previously created. The update will probably be removed. This update's not backwards compatible. Okay, so it's good to know, right? Alpha 16 as an update and not backwards compatible. Do an internal update to any style previously. Does internal update to any style. Ugh. Okay. Yeah. Please back up before you update. Fixed position size not working when joining. Video walkthrough? You have on. It's good I know now. Binary portrait, huh? I just don't want to get copyright issues on me. Okay, I'll just mention it. But... Load profile updates. Check out Yvonne. Yovan. Yovan? I could be wrong. But that's what I heard, Yovan. Yovan, I think. Yovan. Okay. No, okay. It's important that I get that. I want to make sure those names are right. Check out video on it. His join works though, and that is interesting to me. I want to know, where does he... I'll have to play with that. Yeah, we can just get rid of this whole thing. That doesn't exist anymore. Actually, this still works. Look at that. He's still super mad that I... Yeah. Okay, well, even if I do that, it still doesn't like the join. Still like... I don't understand why it doesn't like join. Yeah. Could not find a position container. Which is crazy because it's their own scene that it's like, I can't find it. And I'm like, but it's your scene. It's your standard pre-made scene. I don't get it. Okay. Check out his video on it. Maybe he'll... And he obviously uses the visual novel feed thing, so it works. Oh, there it is. Releases. Okay. I suppose I'm missing my water bottle. Individual. I wonder if this is what broke it. Allow you to move, scale, rotate characters during the timeline of the character event. This new system allows VN creators, visual novel creators, to position and move their characters but more freely. It's possible that this broke it, and then they added saving. Named port positions. Gone are the days of 0 and 24 now. It's leftmost, left, center, right, rightmost, jar. Okay. No, they don't. They don't work. Only visual novels work that way, which I also was having issues when I was messing with that. Store more info into the choices. Search it with Control F. You can now search both in the text editor and the, okay. That's cool. That's cool. You can now search. You can now Control F in the visual and text timeline. In the code timeline, code view. In the visual code view timeline. Sure. Add extra data and choices, sure. Or we can do that too. Add extra info, dictionary data into choices. We want to add I assume it's that, right? I mean, when they add it, it's usually check. Okay. Boom, boom. We just Dialogic dot voices get extra get current question info dictionary. Okay. Choices index. Where's the extra data? You know what? It's not that relevant. They say you got it. How relevant is it? I should just store more info on your choices. Choices allowing further customization, sure. We don't need to go too long on it. We just need to have anything that's like relevant, like breaking changes. Let's change, and we could get around changing a few things that might need each other. Something stopped working, check it, okay. So there's breaking changes apparently. Portrait containers got changed quite a bit. Again, you guys did portrait containers twice in a row. Interesting. If you have a custom portrait container, you'll have to set up a new container IDs. Interesting. The choice syntax now expects or between choice texts if there's no condition. The position event has been completely removed. As all it was able to do can now be done with the character event. If you need the position event or would like to re-add it for example, you can add it as a custom extension easily. Then why do you care about the join position? On save. Also has breaking changes. This is why it's alpha, by the way, because it's a lot of breaking changes. 14, which happened pretty close to when I released my video last time, which is funny. May to September. It's about the time it took me to like move. And development has stagnated quite a bit. That's not a good thing to read, huh? Yeah, mostly small improvements, major feature upgrades. Always. When we first update Dialogic, you might see some errors. This is when they announced the Discord server, which is probably why I didn't see it before. The text bubbly style has seen a major upgrade, more performant. Okay. More breaking changes. Oh, I love it. Love it so much. The DN next indicator class has been renamed to Dialogic next indicator. Well, it's good that it's like verbose. Actually, I think that's a good thing. The rework of the input catcher means its best position is now behind the text box to allow better glossary over. Okay. On the history subsystems, things have been renamed. Not red event. Okay, so history has been there since then. I don't remember seeing it when I was looking at it last. Maybe it just wasn't visible in that little extension thing. Manual advanced mode has been reworked. To class. If you previously accessed these methods on the text subsystem directly, okay. The return dictionary is been updated. If you rely on these, you might have to. Okay. So they all had breaking changes. Ooh, I don't like this song. I don't like that weird thing it was doing. alpha 14 breaking changes. So all of them have breaking changes. That's what makes them alphas. Fixed current speaker if nobody speaks. That's that thing that got mad before. I remember there was like this sprite like error thing when before, so that's actually it does work. That does work. He actually seems less concerning of breaking changes. It's like a bunch of renames, etc. Less concerning breaking change to me. The final alpha? No. Do they have a breaking? Hey, that was the. Oh, that was 1.5.1. Yeah, they have breaking changes every single time. Okay. So pretty much each update I can probably make it look nice. Alpha 16, 15, and 14 all had breaking changes. Improve profiles. I don't even know how much this matters. Let's go choice info. Animation fixes. Animation styles, quality of life. Fixes. Search. Renames of nodes. Text to bubble improvement. Glossary. Translation. Improvements. Yeah, I want to keep it like simple in those updates. All right, so we try again. I'll just do this, then I'll just do the B-roll for after. I swear he like knows when I like shift into changing it. Go lay down, bud. I don't think you can see it. No. He's like right here trying to get my attention. For whatever reason. Okay. Let's get back to it. So the last time I had a video out, there has been 3 updates to Dialogic. Updates 14, 15, and 16. And unfortunately, they've all had some breaking changes in them. So make sure to check that when you update that you back up your files, you back up your project before you upgrade. Each of them have had some improvements, such as like you can actually search the timeline, you get some extra choice info, so you can add extra data. There's some quality of life fixes. This is really cool layered portrait system that I will let the creator of that update use. You can do look at his video and look at all those updates there. There's some really nice improvements, and some of the breaking changes. That's kind of like what you get with an alpha product. You just have to be thoughtful about your updates and be aware of what you are touching. All right, let's get right into timelines. All right, let's get into timelines. What was that? Was that good? Did I succeed in all of this? Guys. Boom. Okay. Video updates. Okay. All right. And it could be that I go through and you cut it. So when you're creating a video, I pretty much just shoot everything I can, and then it may not even appear in the video, or I end up like re-recording a bit if I find I don't like it, or if I hear a certain dog stretching and hitting his collar in the middle of the edit, or I highlight him. All right, where are we at? We just got done with updates. Well, actually, yeah. Now I want to explain the timeline. I want to do it in like a cool way to explain it. I actually think I'm gonna have to get off here in a little bit. And maybe I'll come back tonight. We'll see. But I do like this idea. I think it worked. I pushed through. And I'm gonna finish the video even if I don't stream later, but it's fine. Okay, explain the timeline. So something I want to explain is the timeline. Timeline runs through to completion every time. There is no pausing or waiting for progression. Great. The timeline is just a giant function that runs. You call Dialogic dot play. Is that the right word? Blue Knight. Start. Timeline. I think that's the best way to explain it. Is that it's a giant function and it just runs. And so then instead of figuring out how we can have it stop midway, we want to create functional conditions that change the progression. There are a few ways to do this. One, create a new timeline for every condition. You can, if you want, create multiple different timelines for every path. Might seem like a good idea if you are thinking object-oriented. But this can easily overwhelm. You can use context fast. Two. One giant timeline with a lot of flags. Something I tried previously was having multiple variables of flags to flip off progression. I just didn't like multiple variables, and it was hard to trace the entire hybrid solution. create timelines for seeds. Progression. Sophisticated progression check. You are hanging out. Let's see. I play D&D, in fact. Let's see. I got this idea. On a game with D&D with my friends. And that is, if you treat each scene that is an interaction plot of a timeline, you can then keep things organized and have relationships and have simple, contained timelines. And then have flags for that scene and an overall flag of progression. Also created my flag system to use the concept of bit masks. The full game. I'll do it like this. And then I'm gonna go ... 32. Because that is what an integer can do for us. And then we'll go off. Oh. So I'll go to there. This idea will work whether or not you're using Dialogic or not. You can do this for anything, which is why I like it so much. I think that that's going up, isn't it? It's not even... I want to like, I just forgot to do this like from a visual effects perspective. Okay. And so you might have, say, a variable that might be like game progression, right? And it'll be an integer, but it's actually a bit mask. And so technically we can enable like, so like, I say like way too much. Each bit, so in an integer, you get 32 bits. And if you needed more, you could do a 64-bit version and then have 64 options if you need to expand it. But I think you don't need that if you're smart about it. Each bit can represent a scene, right? So you decide how many scenes are in your game. And then you could have different, things. Like you could literally have like arcs. Like this is chapter 1 of your game, chapter 2 of your game, if you wanted. Like you can decide, can represent a scene, a chapter, an arc, etc. You can break it down as small or as big as you want. So say maybe we should do this. Can I do this? That's let me, yeah, sweet. Cool. So in this case, the value is 1. But if we do this, they're both on, the value is 3. This is basically 1 and 2. It does 2 to the power of the bit. Two to 1. Well, technically it's 0. So 2 to the 0th is 1. 2 to the 1 is 2. 2 to the 3rd. So it's powers of 2. And so this way it could be like introduction scenes, the intro to your game is maybe bit 1. And now that it's enabled, meaning you've already accomplished that. So then it knows you don't have to replay it. And then let's say you get through, you meet the town, and now you're in the town. So now you don't need to load that in. You don't need to have any of those conversations. Those are already done in your progression points. And so now that is on, and now you're like in the town and you're in that scene. So scene 3 could easily be scene 3, a knight's decision. See how we're leading into this? Where like scene 1 is like intro cutscene character customization. Maybe. Then this also helps you test. Like you can flip these switches and then go and test those without having to like replay an entire game either. So it goes beyond that. And then like scene 2 is like get to town. And then, so you might have the bit mask, which is game progression, but then you can have another bit mask per scene. So it's like scene 1. Basically, as you finish each scene and you flip up all the things, you might even say like, hey, okay, it doesn't matter how many they flip as long as these specific ones are flipped, that's enough to trigger the next progression. So maybe it's worth building a little more flat, like intro thing. Kind of like really explain that. Could do that, but I think I'm gonna let it go right here. I'll probably let me find another guy who's streaming, or girl, doesn't matter. Another creator. Nope. Browse. Software. Okay, why is it not? Oh, okay, it's right here. You guys like Primogen? I can do Primogen. I know it's not game dev though. Well, I mean, kind of. What's it doing? It's going to write Rust. Unreal. See if I can find. Is there a good Go developer? Ooh. Yeah, we'll go check out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go check out Connie. And for all of you on YouTube, thank you so much for hanging out. I think I've got all my stream stuff set up. And then, yeah. We're gonna go raid. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And I'm gonna be doing more of this, so. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.